exciting news for Dan Nielsen.
Yeah, it is. It's a great story. He's coming off a knee reconstruction. Picked 25 in the draft and has had to work really hard for everything that he's achieved so far, and he's really been terrific, particularly the last 4 to 6 weeks in the VFL. So an opportunity comes up for him to play, and we think he's ready to take his opportunity.
Is he a straight swap for Jamie?
Oh, well, he's a different type of player, but yeah, he'll certainly come into our defensive setup. We're going to have to probably mix and match a little bit. Unsure as to whether Marley Williams will be available. He's a chance, but not a certainty. So we're not able to completely finalise our team just yet. But the one thing we can confirm is that Dan Nielsen will play.
Is Will Fordham in the mix for an elevation?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, well, there's a couple of guys who are in the mix. We've got Cameron Zurha, Will Fordham, who are on our rookie list, who we have the capacity to elevate. So yeah, they're certainly in contention.
Do you expect Trent Dumont to return this week?
Yeah, Trent will be available after just, he'd had some niggles that in isolation weren't enough to keep him out of the game, but the cumulative effect had meant that he needed to have a rest last week. So yeah, he's fit and available and should play.
How close is Larky?
Yeah, he's another one. I mean, the challenge for us a little bit at the moment, just with guys in form, is picking a side that structures up the right way. And we're prepared to take in a taller team at times, but at the moment, Nick's in great form, and we'd like to see him at senior level sooner rather than later. But you can see with our other talls, it's a challenge to get them all in.
Just on, I guess every week we ask about Braden. Is his elbow recovered now?
Yep. Yeah, he's fit and available for selection. So again, another one of our talls that we're looking at.
Does the fact that Sandilands is out, does that change your thinking at all? Like you might want to bring him in and really dominate that area? Or?
Oh, look, if you watched young Darcy play last week, you'd be kidding yourself if you expected to just come in and dominate him. Look, I think they're the options. I mean, do you double team? Do you go one out? Which way do you try and take an advantage if you can get one? So they're all the things we've got to weigh up from week to week. But yeah, it's a good problem to have some of these big guys in good form who we want to play.
Declan Mountford's got a run the last few weeks. What have you made of his form?
Yeah, he learnt a hell of a lot last week. We were prepared to persist with Declan playing on Gary Ablett. He'll certainly go into this pre-season with a new level of expectation as to where his strength needs to be. Like a lot of players, he got a good lesson from Gary around the ball, and was really surprised how strong Gary is, given his stature. You wouldn't think he's as strong as he is, but Declan got a real lesson there, and a good lesson, and we were prepared to persist with that one. So yeah, he's been a positive for us, and we're pretty keen to keep developing him.
Does he get a similar role this week?
Potentially. I mean, he's not just a one-trick pony. He can play defensive roles, but he's also got some genuine speed and break away from the contest. So we'll throw all that in the mix and work it out later this week.
Where's Ben Jacobs at?
Well, look, he's hopefully not too far away, but unfortunately we've been saying that for a long time. So whenever we get close to the point of him returning, he actually has returned and pulled up a bit sore. So we're really confident the initial injury is sound, but he's getting some referred pain elsewhere. So my instruction to our medical team is just not to rush him. Obviously we want him back, but we want to be conservative with the approach so that when he is back, he gets a clear run at it.
Has the club made a decision on whether he'll be here next year?
There are discussions that are ongoing with our list management team, but I mean, Ben Jacobs as a player is not in question. I think he's played 77 games. We've got enough evidence to know what his best is. We've just got to get him healthy. So that's our priority at the moment, and we'll seek all the best opinions to make sure we get him healthy. But in terms of, is he a player at his best, going to stay on our list? Absolutely he is.
You mentioned Zurha before. What's sort of impressed you with his development this year?
I like he's a plucky player. He plays with real verve and energy, and he's got some genuine power. Doesn't shirk any contests. He's for a first-year player. He looks like a 25-year-old out there. So he's really taken all before him the last couple of weeks. There are still some areas of his game that we want to sharpen up, and he's really made some solid improvements, and that's why he's being spoken about as being in the mix for selection.
Sammy Wright, is he another one getting close to being selected?
Yeah, he's a couple of games back now and is not far off. Again, we've got to be a bit conservative with Sam. We've got to make sure that probably the last couple of weeks he's been running around still thinking about his foot a little bit in the back of his mind. So we want him training and playing, focusing on his footy, not his injuries. So he's an important player for us. We'd love to have him back, but again, we just won't rush him.